an interesting article on the bulletin board of Dr. Nash's office, and I thought I'd read it to you. If you love your pet, make sure your pet loves their vet. This is from the Shopping News, Tuesday, April 19th, 2011. This is in Woodbury, and it begins. Don't you think veterinary hospitals should prosper on a warm and friendly atmosphere, endeavoring to help all sorts of animals in need? Dr. George Nash of the Sherman Hill Animal Hospital thinks so too, and that's what his cozy and caring practice is all about. The primary philosophy of the hospital is simple. Focus on the animal, try to remove any pain and suffering, be courteous and respectful to the owner and the pet. He does all this with his exceptional veterinarian skill and an animal lover's true compassionate touch. First of all, how did he get into veterinary medicine? Quote, I established a hobby which basically was taking care of horses in order to learn how to ride. While I was doing that, I was able to observe a veterinarian working with the animals in this particular barn, and I thought, I'd like to do that. When I was 18 or 19, I made up this decision to pursue becoming a veterinarian. I liked being around the animals and working with them, of course. I liked watching the healer come into the barn and treat an ailing horse. It was a great experience to observe. I wanted to do that too, he explains with a smile. For over 30 years, he has been fulfilling his dream as an animal healer. For almost 5 years, he's been working at the Sherman Animal Hospital. Before he came to Woodbury, in Connecticut, he owned and practiced it in another part of the state. He sold that property, and then when the Sherman Hill Hospital came up for sale, it was a rather timely transfer, and he purchased. My favorite thing about owning a veterinary hospital, he quotes, are the animals I get to meet. The animals generally want to be your friend and have fun with you. This is a joyous experience, something I would recommend highly. He feels that any time he can intervene with an animal's care and get a positive outcome, it's thrilling. Quote, I think some of my favorite surgeries have been crises, difficult cases that take a long time to finally get to the right answer are stimulating when proper treatment is administered, and I'm happy about the outcome, he recalls. In the office, he's known for his medical expertise, being able to mull over difficult cases before coming to a confident conclusion. His employees give him the playful nickname Dr. House, which there's a picture of up here, signed, by the way, after the television series Fictional Doctor, known for solving the hardest of medical mysteries. Dr. Nash has learned to use his years of skill to overcome one of the biggest challenges veterinarians face, the financial constraint of the owners. With the rise of technological advances, taking care of sick pets can be a big expense. When owners don't have the funds to pay for the technology used to diagnose the pet's problem, the veterinarian is limited in what he can do. So what's Dr. Nash's solution? Quote, you've got to rely on your own experience and gut feelings and hope that it works. So the more experience and gut feelings you have, the more successful you can be in diagnosing a problem, he says. He's done that to conquer a common problem. This is really interesting, this part. Having been in practice for over 30 years, his surgical abilities are finer honed than newer veterinarian graduates right out of school. And since years ago specialists weren't available, Dr. Nash explains that it rested on himself to do the surgeries. Besides his surgical experience, he's been trained to utilize stem cell therapy to treat arthritis in animals. What exactly is this? That means you harvest tissue from a dog that has very painful arthritis with no medicine when no medicine is working. You send that tissue off to a lab in California where they then process it into injectable stem cells. Then you inject the joints that are affected with it. Although it's not a cure, it gives new life to old dogs, Dr. Nash clarifies. Why did he get into this type of therapy in the first place? Quote, it was something that interests me. You get awful discouraged with older arthritic dogs. There are different medicines to kill the pain and reduce inflammation to keep the dog functional. But there's a point where it just doesn't work. And I didn't have the next step, other than a joint replacement. For many owners, that's not financially feasible. So this is a midway cost that can give some relief to these dogs. He's tried it on his old Great Dane with badly arthritic knees, and he made a puppy out of her. That's how I got sold on the procedure, he happily states. The article goes on, but I've never heard of stem cells for arthritis, so that caught my eye. And I hope that you get the opportunity to meet Dr. Nash, who's in surgery right now, but we will be releasing the turtle in a little bit.
right? It's been 2 months
Has it been 2 months?
since this little pal came into our office.
Okay, I had stopped on the side of the road, and as I mentioned earlier, I passed a turtle, and it was squished. His shell was squished, but I thought, maybe he's not dead. So I picked him up. A man stopped behind me, thank you very much, whoever you are, and we got him into a box, and this was Saturday. Are you always open on Saturday, or was I lucky?
No, we're open until about 1 o'clock on Saturday.
Love it. And this is in Woodbury, Connecticut. And we found the turtle. And Dr. Nash's office took him right in, no hesitation. And he's been here ever since.
Yeah, we've had an interesting couple of months with this little one. I'm not very good at sexing turtles, so I have no idea if it's a male or a female. But one of the biggest problems that can occur with a broken shell is infection. And while the wounds are healing, and of course this poor guy had some what appeared to be neurological problems with his back legs, and with the healing of the wound from the inside out and time, the healing process has occurred to a point where we think we can let this one go.
So you had him on antibiotics?
Yeah, but it was more topical than systemic. And we kept fluid levels low enough so that the wound did not get bathed with this contaminated water.
So when he was in the fish tank,
right,
the water was low.
And of course he had a stone that he could climb up on. And
what kind of turtle is he?
Painted turtle.
Okay. And how big do the painted turtles get?
Usually no bigger than this, 6-7 inches. Yeah.
Are these the ones that when we were little we had as pets?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, and so I remember, boy, my turtles didn't last that long, and I think it was salmonella.
Oh yeah, salmonella's been implicated with these guys, and that's why they've fallen into disfavor at pet stores and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And salmonella is a nasty bug that infects your intestinal tract, gives you diarrhea, sometimes with blood. People get it, not the turtles don't get it, they just get it.
He's got some white on his shell.
Yeah.
And you were saying he was healing from the outside,
From the
inside out.
You're right.
How deep is that now?
Well, it's about maybe 1/8 of an inch.
That's incredible from what it was before.
So
is the shell like hair with rejuvenation?
it's more like fingernail, yeah, which is like hair. Yeah.
Okay. Does he have a personality?
Well, I haven't noticed it, but
Anybody notice the personality on him?
no. But he seems to enjoy. He's curious. He sometimes is a picky eater. We've
tried a lot of things.
We've tried everything the pet store can sell, and we noticed he had an affinity for some of these strawberries. And
We have a box of strawberries to release him with. So in the wild, what do they normally eat?
they probably eat insects, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And who knows if they munch on algae or weeds and stuff like that too.
How long do turtles usually live? Do you have any idea?
They can live a long time. I think the lifespan of this one might be 18 years, 20 years.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
boy, I wish I had a pond in Vermont that I could monitor him in.
Maybe we should. I wish we had a GPS chip we could implant in them.
I know. They're doing that. I saw a commercial about 6 months ago where they do that on dogs now. And I thought, I have to contact them to do a show because that would be interesting. Now, turtles, in the winter, do they hibernate?
Yeah.
Okay, so they bury under the sand?
Mud, yeah.
Mud, okay. I don't know a whole lot about turtles. Do you know...
Well, I might surprise you that I know less.
Okay.
Because
you knew enough to save them.
I don't, thank God for the internet, because for my colleagues that handle these, getting in touch with colleagues and getting on the internet, you kind of get your talking points.
Yeah. Well, when he first came in, like I mentioned, the shell was cracked, but he was What signs did you look for to see if he was going to make it?
First of all, his attitudes, he wasn't depressed, but, we played with his feet, and there was a little bit of movement there, so we thought we had a chance if, with a little rest, because I'm sure he with the crack, he suffered some spinal cord bruising, and he's come back with that. And he can really manipulate well in the water, so I think he's going to be doing all right out there.
Why do turtles cross the road? I know it's a joke, but why? I mean, I see them in the spring.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, looking for greener pastures, looking for...
Or the other side.
Yeah,
it looks better.
I wonder if they have their eggs somewhere and they cross over, or if the road is warm.
Boy, you really get into this.
I don't know what to do to avoid it.
Yeah.
Put up no turtle crossing signs. Well, one thing, talking to people about this, you'd be surprised how many people keep a shovel in a box in the back of their car just for creatures like this where they can scoop them in, especially snapping turtles. Not that you don't want to help a snapping turtle, but I think probably a shovel in a box will work better than trying to pick it up.
Yeah.
A friend of mine grabbed a snapper and
You need to go from the side. If you're going
from the back.
Yeah.
When
you have a snapping turtle.
At another veterinary office that I used to own, we had a pond.
And then a few of them.
A man-made pond, and we had some snapping turtles that got in there. And they would sun themselves on the far shore.
Oh, yeah.
And when I came out, he would scurry back into the water. But he got used to a young man that we had walking the dogs, and who he did not consider a threat, and he would stay on the side of the, as this fellow would walk the dogs, and they would do their business. So I asked this young man if he would sneak up behind the snapping turtle with a bucket, and he put a bucket over it, and we got it into the bucket, and then we, I guess I can say now because of statute of limitations, we transplanted him in the municipal pond at the town hall.
So is he there today?
I don't know.
Oh, we don't know.
I don't know.
Do turtles mate? I mean, do they have a partner? Did you find that out in your research?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't expect to get quizzed so much.
I don't know.
I would have studied. I would have studied. I really would have. But...
Well, I can't thank you enough for taking on this creature.
Oh, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And I want to say that this office did it out of the kindness of their heart. They have a little donation box, so when I came, all they had was a 20, so I stuffed it in there, but this office has a reputation for being very generous. So in Connecticut, thank you, Dr. George Nash, and the name of your business is Sherman Hill
Animal Hospital
in Woodbury. Thank you very much, and I will be sure our next segment, or right now, will follow the release of, does he have a name? Somebody was calling him something.
Did you guys name him?
Tom's calling him Turtel.
Tortel.
Turtel. Oh.
Turtel.
Mr. Turtel.
Okay.
Or Miss.
This is where we've decided to let him have his freedom. Flanders Nature Sanctuary in Woodbury. This is beautiful. Lily ponds. And actually, we painted him with a little, hate mosquitoes, with a little nail polish on his back in case he ever shows up again. Okay, here's our little star. He's going off to his new life. We've scattered strawberries, and this pond is absolutely beautiful. Bye, buddy. Have a good life. Bye, Dr. Nash. Oh, there he is.
He blends in.
And he's on the move. I wonder what's going through his mind right now.
This is a protected area. No fishing, no hunting. Perfect spot for his new life. He seems to be taking it all in. Come on, honey.
Patty.
It's a summer's day, the sun is out. But it's a good old day for just a hanging about.